welcome to Blending today. Today's February 25th, and it's Unit 3, Week 6, which is all review. So we're going to review all of those sounds that we have learned in Unit 3, all the long vowels, the soft C and the soft J, and that sound, which we did last week. Let's do high frequency words. Why, today, some, way, now, away, pretty, grow, green, water, together, should, upon, from, once, happy, any, so, girl, old, how, ago, people, boy, done, by, every, after, soon, work. Fantastic. Thank you if you're practicing your skills. All right, so first couple words is using that long A sound, using A blank E. So remember that E in all of our vowels just tells the vowel, A, E, I, O, or U, but it's not going to say the short sound, in this case, A, and it's going to flip and say the long sound, which just sounds like what you say in the alphabet, A. So first word, shake. Your turn. Sh, A, K, shake, shake. SH, that digraph, you just have to know that it's not saha, saha. When they're together, it just says sh. SH, sh. A blank E, that long A sound, sh, A. And K says ka, sh, ache, shake. So of course, you can use your stretchy snake for any of these words. But in order for it to really work, you have to break it up into 3 sounds: shoulder sound, elbow sound, wrist sound. And in order for that to work, you have to know that SH is sh, that's your shoulder sound. You have to know that those 2 letters, A blank E, long A, your elbow sound. And you have to know that K is going to be your wrist sound. So sh, A, K, shake. So you have to know that, you can break this into 3 sounds, even though it is 5 letters. But sh, A, K, sh, A, K. 3 sounds, 3 parts of your elbow, so there are 3 parts of your arm, so you can use your stretchy snake. Next word, game. Your turn. Ga. A, game, game. G says ga. A blank E, long A. M says ga, aim, game. So we now know that G can also say ja, the soft G. So you just kind of have to play around with the word because it doesn't follow any rules. So if you were to try to make this as a soft G, which says ja, ja, aim, jame, that doesn't quite sound like a word. All right. So next couple words, we're going to use the long I sound, which just like the long A, we can spell that with I blank E, and that E just tells the I, no longer says I, now it says I. It says its name in the alphabet. All right, ripe, your turn. I, p, ripe, ripe. R says I blank E, long I, I. P says pa, ipe, ripe. So with all of these long sounds, you don't even necessarily have to say. You don't say that E. The E is silent. But you just have to know that while you're trying to sound out the word, you see the E and it shifts in your brain, and it shifts from I to I. All right, next word. Hide. Your turn. Ha. I. Da. Hide. H says ha. I blank E, that long I. Ha. I. D says read our first line. Shake, game, ripe, hide. Your turn. Excellent. All right, so these next couple words, we're going to use the soft J sound, or soft G. I always get those confused. The soft G, which sounds like ja. And normally, it will be spelled with G-E, like the word gem. We did that one the other day. And it can also be spelled with D-G-E. But of course, D-G-E will only come at the end of the word. Okay, so page, your turn. Pa-a-ja. Page, page. So, P says pa. The word page also uses a blank E. Because it's got the long sound. Pa-a-ja. It's not a J, it's a soft G. So notice how soft G can be spelled with G-E, and in this case, the G-E is, the E is still silent because it's part of the A blank E, and the blank is the Ja, the soft G. Cage, your turn. Ka-a-ja. Cage. Another one where the soft G works with a blank E. C says ka. A blank E, long A, ka-a. G says ja, ka-a-ja, cage. And again, G-E, helping to make that ja sound. And next one, we're going to do a couple of long E words. So just like the other long sounds, like long A, long I, the extra E at the end just makes it say its name. It just says E. All right. Pete, your turn. Pa-e-t, Pete. So Pete is a name. So obviously it's capitalized. It's a noun. P says pa. E blank E, so there's E and its buddy. T says ta, pa, eat, Pete. Next word, Steve, your turn. Sta, E, v, Steve. Steve is also a name, so we're going to capitalize that S. When we say Steve, we hear sta at the beginning. So if we're looking at this name in a book, if you see sta, and you can kind of blend that together sound by sound because it's not a digraph. S-H, digraph. S-ta, sta. Because you can hear the sta when you blend them letter by letter. E blank E, so that's E and its buddy E. So that E tells this one to say E instead of E. Sta, E, v. Sta, Eve, Steve. Wow. So next couple words. Next word we're going to use the long U sound, like the middle sound you hear in the word cube. So when I say cube, ka-ube, cube, I hear the letter U. So the word mule, your turn. M-U-L, mule. So yesterday we used the word mule in a sentence. M says, U blank E makes that letter U. U. Remember, U normally says but then the buddy E comes along, you see it at the end of a word, it makes the U say U. U. L says O. U-O, mule. Right. And the next few words, we're going to use the book card. So the book card makes that sound that you hear, you feel it in your chest when you say book. You kind of hear that middle sound. You feel it in your chest. Okay, and that is spelled with O-O. It can also be spelled with U, like in the word pull. When you say pull, you can feel that in your chest. When you say push, you can hear that in your chest, that middle sound. Okay, so hooked. Your turn. Ha. Hooked. Hooked. H says ha. O, ha, K says ka, ha, hook. So the word was hooked. So in order to make this that it happened in the past, this word, if we're using it as a verb, means that it's going to happen in the future. I am going to hook those two fences together. But if it happened in the past, it happened yesterday. Yesterday I hooked those two pieces of the fence together so that we could replace it. So in order to say that it happened in the past, we have to have an ED. Now when you see it in a book, you have to blend it with that. Otherwise, it's not actually the word. Hooked. So it kind of sounds like a T at the end. The ED kind of sounds like a T depending on what that last letter is. All right, next word. Books. Your turn. X. Books. B says ba. O, ba, K says ka, ba, book. That's the same as the book card. So the word was books. So book, one book that's on the desk. But if we're talking about many books, more than one book, we have to add an S in order to make that word plural. Books. Books. All right, and last word. Stood. Your turn. Da. Stood. Stood. So like I said with the word Steve, you can hear that ST if you were to blend it, just sound by sound, letter by letter. Doesn't help you with your stretchy snake, but you can still hear that sound. D says da, stood. Excellent. So let's read our last two lines. Page, cage, Pete, Steve. Your turn. Lovely. Mule, hooked, books, stood. Your turn. Wonderful. Okay. So let's do a sentence. M says so it's a capital letter because we always begin a sentence with a capital letter. A, short A because there's nobody. Nobody. A. And there's three letters work together to make that soft G. Ja. Aj. Maj. Maj. High frequency word. Eat. So Madge eat. That doesn't quite make sense. I need to turn this verb into like it's happening right now. She eats. High frequency word. A. Eats. A. B says ba. I says eh. Ba, eh. So again, since I here does not have a buddy, there is not going to be a silent E at the end of the word. It's just the short I. Eh. Eats a big. G says ga, ba, ig, big. Madge eats a big. SL, soul. Another one of those S blends like the ST or the ST here. And you can sound those two letters out, letter by letter, and you'll still be able to hear sol. If you go sol when you're sounding out this word. Okay, so this word is not only going to have an I, but there's going to be an E at the end. So that should trigger in your brain that it's going to turn from I, not like the word big, and the word big, it's a short I. But since there's an E here at the end of the word, the I is going to turn into the long sound, I. Sol, I. And there's the soft C, sol, I, slice. So the CE will kind of help to signify, to show, to signal that that C is going to be soft. So of course, you can try to sound it out with a normal hard C. Sol, Ike, like. That doesn't quite sound like a word. So, oh wait, it's got C-E. Let's flip it and try soft C. Sol, ice. Oh look, there's slice of pizza on the table. All right, so let's do some, oh, I'm not quite finished with the sentence. My bad. Madge eats a big slice. That's not a complete sentence. Of F says you, nobody, so it's just a. DGE makes that soft G, ja, fudge. All right, Madge eats a big slice of fudge. Well, that sounds like a correct sentence. Okay, so we need punctuation. So you could always have a period. Most sentences could always end with a period unless it's a question. But you could also have an exclamation point depending on, maybe if you see this in a book, depending on what's going on in the book, or depending on what the characters are doing in that in the picture on that page. Madge eats a big slice of fudge. Like, she ate a much bigger piece than I did. I don't think I could eat that big a piece of fudge, but Madge, she loved it. Okay, so you could have an exclamation point or a period. Completely up to you if you're writing it, but if you see it, the exclamation point tells you how you have to say it, or the period tells you how you have to say it. Okay, let's do nouns and verbs. So, Madge, we know is a noun because it's a person. Fudge is also a noun because it's a thing. So the verb, what I put in green, is what the noun does. So does the noun fudge do anything? No, it does not. But our other noun, Madge, does do something. She eats. That means we have to put eats in green. We put our verbs in green. Madge eats a big slice of fudge. So, we have an adjective in our sentence. And adjectives are kind of new for us, but I'm sprinkling them in there. So, Madge eats a big slice of fudge. An adjective, what we put in purple, is a describing word. Big. Big describes the fudge. It describes the slice of fudge. So, these two words, they work together to be the adjective. By themselves, slice is not necessarily an adjective. But when those two words are together in the same sentence, they are both describing the fudge. It's a big slice of fudge. The word slice on its own, not an adjective. The word big on its own can be, usually is, an adjective. All right. Thank you so much, guys.